you can accomplish so much when you break free from all of the obligations that you think you have to do. Like when you finally make a list of all of the things that you're involved in, or you're engaging in, or you're a part of, and if those aren't, like, maybe it's a season that's been over for a while, but you're still doing it. Maybe it's something that used to work and it's no longer working. It's a habit that you have. Without even thinking, it's producing results that you don't want. When you really sit down and you think, why am I doing this? Is it to please, people that aren't a part of my life anymore? Is it to show something? I want to look good I want to look like I'm rich or I'm wealthy and I'm really not, or I want people to be like, whoa. Is it for that, self-gratification? Like, why are you doing what you're doing? And when you really get clear on that and you really think, I don't even enjoy this anymore. Like, I had a friend that I was just, at one point I was like, I don't even like being around you. I got to the point where I'm like, why am I hanging out with this person? I don't even enjoy them. We're not even the same. They're bringing me down, and it's always like frustrating. It's always a competition. And I just kind of got to the point where I'm like, this isn't even enjoyable. Like, this isn't even a friendship that's even sharpening me, and I'm not sharpening them. It's just always like a struggle or a power struggle. And so you start thinking, like for me, when we used to go to church every Sunday, it was a hassle. Like, I'm going to be honest. It was an obligatory hassle. My kids didn't like it. I really didn't like it. And maybe because I wasn't getting fed spiritually at most of the churches, and I really wanted to be around the prophetic. I wanted to have an encounter, and I wasn't. It was just fluff. It was just, smoke machines and skinny jeans, as they would say, and people showing up looking good and a lot of fakeness. And I just thought, I don't like this. Why am I going? So I can say I attend this church, so I could be a part of this group, so I could be plugged in with this, And so I really just sat down and thought, I don't want to do this anymore. Why am I spending my time engaging in things that I don't belong in or that are not for me, just so I could look good from the outside and people could say, oh, she must really be it's a lot of times we're doing things because we want this response from people. We want people to look at us and feel proud. It's natural to want people to feel, be proud of you and to like you. And when you disappointed somebody that's close to you, it's such a weird feeling, because you don't want to disappoint those people close to you. You don't want to disappoint your mom or your dad or your grandparents or whoever it is that means something to you. But at some point, you have to break free from that. You have to snap out of it. You're not here to please everybody. You're never going to. You are not going to please everybody. You're going to waste your life, and you're going to be frustrated and exhausted and overcommitted trying to please everybody, giving yourself too many to-dos. And one of the things that I've been learning, and this is true for design. So in design, you want negative space, right? You want negative space because that allows things to breathe. It's more of an elevated look. Everything's not crammed together. It's not competing for attention. There's not stuff everywhere. It's not overly cluttered. It's not anxious. You don't walk in the room and there's stuff everywhere. I got to clean this. It's prompting a different response when there's negative space. It's calmer. Oh, this feels good. This is nice. It's an enjoyment. It's like you're savoring the moment. You're looking around. It's not, sorry, bumped into that, and there's stuff here, and oh, look at that. Oh, this, and so it's like everything's not grabbing your attention or stealing your attention, right? So that negative space is purposeful. It's there with intention to allow the person have an experience in that room or in that home, right? This goes for life as well. This is why it's important for your kids to be bored sometimes. Don't always try to step in and fix their boredom with a video game, with a stimulation. I'm bored. Good. Figure it out. Make something out of a box. Think. Get creative. Look out the window. Whatever. Because when the parent rushes in to satisfy their boredom with something, they're always going to chase that stimulation. And this creates habits, and this creates behavioral patterns that keeps the child, even as they get older, to chase for the next thing, chase those trends, chase this. I got to have this. I got to have that. So-and-so has this. So-and-so has this. It's like they're itching ears for something new. They need something different. They need something. And the parents are feeling that. So you have to allow negative space in life, right? So what I started doing this last year, now my husband used to have, he used to overcommit. He would show up for everybody. He would be the yes man. I'll be there. I got your back. Yes, you can count on me. He was loyal like that. That was his thing. But when he started bringing me into those things, hey, can you help me with it? Because he was overloaded. So then I had to catch that overflow, right? I had to be there. Oh, can you take care of this for me? Because I got to do this. Nope. I finally had to put my foot down and say, no, I'm not going to. You are overcommitted. You're telling them you're going to show up. Don't put that on me. That's not being added to my to-do list. And it caused a little bit of friction with us because he wanted me to be more submissive. And I said, no. If you're going to say yes to everybody, and you're going to cram your schedule with meetings and appointments and showing up for these people, and you got to drive here and you got to drive there, or you got to show up to this party or this networking event, or you want to be on this podcast or whatever it is, you do it. Don't put that on me, because I was reaching a point where I wanted the space between the to-dos. I needed, for women, we need to reset our nervous systems. We need to refocus, like recalibrate. We cannot just go. A man's cycle is a 24-hour cycle. A woman's cycle is a monthly cycle, right? So there are times where we need to pull back and say, no, I'm saying no right now. Even though maybe you said yes, I'm canceling. It's just not going to work for me. Oh, well, you said you would be there. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to show up. And I've done that. There was times where I said, yeah, I'll be there. And then the day came and I was overloaded, overstimulated, exhausted. And I thought either I do what I said I was going to do, which, yes, in a lot of areas you want to make sure that you're following through with what you said. But it was between my well-being or pleasing them. And I said, no, I'm going to take a bath tonight. And I put on Christmas music and I put some Epsom salts in the bath and I lit a candle, and boy, it was dreamy. And then at the event, people were like, oh, well, I thought you were going to be, you were going to be there. And my husband's like, well, you said you were going to be there. Well, too bad. I wasn't. I decided to take a bath and it was dreamy and I slept great and I woke up refreshed. So you have to know when to say no. You can't say yes to everything. And, before I learned like birthdays and parties and events and stuff like that. I'm happy birthday. I'm very happy for you, but I don't want to feel obligated to get you something and to have to go. So there's a difference, So and I don't make people feel obligated to show up for me either. If they want to, great. If they don't, but I don't put that pressure on them because I know sometimes that, it's just not going to work out. So for the season that you're in your life, and I'm saying this because I'm in this season, be willing to say no. Be willing to have that open space. Be willing to have space between things in your home. Be willing to have, something to yourself, the quiet time, the privacy. Be willing to have that and not always have to rush to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You're overloading yourself and you're overloading your nervous system when you do that. The quiet time and the space between allows you to refill your cup. It allows you to spend the time with your kids. It allows you to take a pause. It allows you to have those moments in between your busy life. And when you put up those boundaries, at first, people will probably be upset. You didn't answer the phone. Why? Because I didn't want to. If somebody calls me in the morning, I'm not answering. Why didn't you answer? My phone's off. I put it on Do Not Disturb because I enjoy a slow morning. I rushed for so many years getting up and getting out the door and getting to work early, that I had to get there by 7 a.m. You're already at the office by 7:30, I'm giving my body a chance to have a nice healthy poop. I'm washing my face. I might do a face mask. I'm cleaning up, and I know not everyone has this luxury because you have to get to work and you have to get the kids off to school. I get it. But if you don't have to do that, slow mornings are beautiful. Slow mornings and slow evenings. And then in the afternoon, I push myself working out and getting things done, and I grind. But I have learned to enjoy that space between and not overcommit. not have so many to-dos. I do not want to be a slave to to-dos. Though I do use a to-do list because it keeps me accountable, but it's not set in stone all the time. And so this is just a message to help you ease up a little bit, recalibrate your life a little bit. I need to go to the bathroom. Be right back. Okay. If you are overcommitting yourself and you are saying yes, then you can't complain about being burnt out, because these are just the results of that. It always catches up to you. So if you have a job that is an intense job, then you're going to have boundaries with friends and family members, because your job is taking up that space in your life. And usually it's for a season. When you're younger, you work hard. You work hard, you build up that seed, you build up that nest egg, you figure out where you're going to live, what you're going to do. And so you don't really have time for games and to play. And that might bother some people, that might hurt them. Well, you didn't show up to my party, or you're not available for a bonfire or game night or whatever. Yeah, because I'm tired from working. And that's my responsibility, and that's what I'm focused on. So you have to know and focus on those areas in whatever season that you're in your life. You might be a season where you're raising little kids. That's exhausting. Little kids, you're not sleeping well, they're up in the middle of the night, you're tending to them. And so I had a friend too that, actually this is the same girl that I said I didn't. She used to tell me, when I had 2 kids at the time, you never show up for me, you're never there for me. I'm like, you don't have any kids, and I have 2 under 2. So for me, that's my attention. I can't have sleepover parties and slumber parties at your house. I'm not a teen. I've got responsibility. And so you have to look for people who are going to understand the season that you're in life, and that months might go by and you might not talk to them, and you pick up right back where you were. How are you? How are things going? And you know what a really nice sign of a good friendship is, they're like, what can I do for you? How can I help you in this season in your life? It's not all about them, or it's not, or you might be that person and hey, there's a mom with young kids. What can I do for you? How can I help you? And so that's just being, courteous and loving, showing that you care and that you don't require their attention, that you want to do something for them because it's a trying time, it's a difficult time. Somebody might be studying for a test for college and they're going through 6 months of some specific training. They're not going to be, anyways, you get the point. So boundaries and saying no so you can say yes. The more that you say no to, the more you'll be able to say yes to the better things. So you're saying no to the lower things so you can say yes to the higher things. And it's just a process, eliminating what's no longer working, moving those things out of your list, off of your list, and, not overloading yourself. Just steps to freedom.